Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're doing our very first ever Booktube book review. There's something for my YouTube channel. I do want to do more in-depth reviews of videos you've already seen on my TikTok. My TikTok, I do want to keep it the way I have it now, which is more reactionary based. I'm going to keep the before, during, afters on there, but I want to do more in-depth things about the book. I try to keep my TikTok spoiler free. I do my best when it comes to it. It is hard sometimes. As a reader who likes to go into books with the littlest amount of details, I try to keep my TikToks pretty reaction based, how they make me feel, and that's when I want to keep it that way. But on my YouTube, I do want to have the opportunity to have a bigger discussion when it comes to these books, because there are books that make us just feel a little feral. For my first ever Booktube book review, I feel that it's only fitting that we start with the one and the only How Does It Feel by Jeneane O'Riley. This is my first ever video I had on my TikTok that went viral, and a lot of people have since read it, and I have so many comments on that original post being like, can we talk about this? So that's what I plan to do today. I plan on opening the doors for a bigger discussion for this book because I think, one, it deserves it. I think this book deserves all the hype. I love this book. I will never forget the way this book made me feel. And I think we truly, really do need to talk about the ending. So in order to talk about the ending, let's talk about everything before there. What got us there? First and foremost, I want to talk about the quality of this book. I have a hardcover and a paperback over here. This book is actually the book that was featured in that TikTok video, so she's done her service. This book was sent to me by Jeneane O'Riley. It is a signed copy, and I love hardcovers like this, actually, where there's no dust jacket. It's just printed on the book. I love the way it feels in my hands. The good quality. Jeneane O'Riley was an indie author. She's since been picked up by Bloom, and that's so exciting. I love the covers of this book. The cover of this book is actually what made me want to read it. I thought it was super unique, and there's not a lot of covers like it, so I was drawn to it just by the cover alone. Jeneane O'Riley has since been picked up by Bloom, so they're revamping the book. They're giving it a makeover. They're changing the cover. They're doing further editing in the book, which is exciting, and I think there's going to be extended content whenever Bloom publishes their own version of How Does It Feel, which is super exciting. So let's get into it. When you first open the book, there is an author's note with a trigger warning, and the triggers for this book is included but not limited to violence, abuse, physical, mental, emotional, and verbal, kidnapping, death or dying, gore, mental illness, bones, hospitalization, profanity, snakes, sex, and poisoning. So those are the trigger warnings for this book. And then after you flip on from the trigger warning page is the dedication. Now I am a sucker for a good dedication, and this dedication in this book is one that had me shaking in my damn boots, because it says, "To you, my hope is not that you finish this book, but that this book finishes you." I remember reading that. I was laying in bed and I'm like, got to the dedication, and I literally had to jump out of bed and go film a TikTok video. I was like, what do you mean, Jeneane? What do you mean? What? I was scared. I'm all of a sudden scared to continue reading. But nevertheless, I did continue reading. You flip the page and there is a playlist page, and there is songs that are chapter specific, which I thought was really I actually go through this book yesterday and I took notes, hopefully hitting all the key points of this book. So let's talk about it. The main female character in this book, her name is Callie. She is a biologist. She's just recently moved to Michigan, and her life mission at this point is to save the Luna moth. Super intrigued with pretty much anything that has wings, and at this point she's really focused on saving these specific moths. In order to do so, she purchased a really expensive microscope. And the ways that I would describe Callie, she's kind of nerdy, she's kind of quirky, and she's reserved. And she prefers to keep it that way. Like, she has no social life, she is work driven, she just wants to save animals, and right now her main focus is saving the Luna moths. Okay, we got that clear. At this point, we discover that Callie has this weird connection when it comes to animals. They seem to be drawn to her, and she seems to have this unspoken communications with animals. We learned this through Dorothy the turkey and the bunnies that she tried to release, and then there was a fox that never comes out, that is rarely ever seen in the daytime, came out to Callie in the daytime, and she told people about it, and they were like, something's got to be wrong with that fox. Callie also does volunteer work at her library, and this is where she met Crazy Earl. The first description that we get of Crazy Earl in this book, he is described as Crazy Earl, the town drunk in his quest for Sasquatch. So that should tell you how the town perceives Crazy Earl. They write him off, they think he speaks a bunch of nonsense, they think he's drunk and on drugs, and they kind of pay him no mind. I think if you live in a small town, you probably know a person or two like that. So the way he was described, I was like, okay, I understand. But the first run-in that Callie has with Crazy Earl, she sees him walking out of the library with a stack of books on mushrooms. This obviously piques Callie's interest because she's a biologist who is now studying mushrooms, and she's curious why Crazy Earl, the Delulu man in the town, is walking out of the library with a stack of books on mushrooms. So she goes over and she talks to him, and she learns that Crazy Earl actually is a biologist himself, and he used to do studying on mushrooms and whatnot. And they get to talking, they nerd out, they go look at her new microscope. They're completely nerding out at this point, talking about mushrooms and science and all that stuff. Crazy Earl tells Callie the mushroom that she's looking for to save the Luna moths is actually called Destroying Angel, and he happens to know exactly where to find it. Oh, they're hunting for the mushrooms. Crazy Earl is kind of nervous. There's something he's not quite telling Callie, but she's like, I'm just here for the mushrooms. Get me to the mushrooms. I need them. Let me save these moths. They go into the woods. They find the mushroom. You see one singular Destroying Angel mushrooms. And Crazy Earl's like, that's weird. Just one. And Callie's like, what do you mean? And Crazy Earl's like, well, usually you find them in a circle. And it's actually a portal from the human realm to another realm. And Callie's like, okay, maybe Crazy Earl is crazy. But they find the one mushroom nevertheless, and Callie's really excited about it. So she's almost like to the point where she wants to whip out her microscope and look at it in the middle of the forest. She's so excited to look at this mushroom. But then something weird starts to happen. Something shifts in the air, the wind picks up, the sky goes gray, the thunder starts rolling in, and Crazy Earl starts to get a little nervous. She kind of just grabs it. She bumps in, she drops her microscope, she doesn't realize, she grabs the mushroom, and they're running out of the forest, and they're like, what the hell is happening here? Callie's so excited she wants to go out and celebrate later that night with Crazy Earl, take him in the town, go to dinner or something, get dressed up. Callie doesn't usually get dressed up, but she's a girl. She likes to, so she wants to go and celebrate with Crazy Earl. He takes her home, drops her off, she starts to get ready for her celebration date. She's fully dressed, she's got her dress on, makeup done, hair did, heels on, when she realizes that she left her expensive microscope in the middle of the damn woods trying to run out of whatever eerie, scary feeling was in the woods. So she's like, damn it, I can't leave my expensive microscope in the middle of the woods. I gotta cancel my date with Crazy Earl. I don't have a working car, but I do have a tractor. So Callie, dressed up, she's like ready to go on a date. She's ready to go out on a night in a town. No longer going on a night in town. She's dressed up on her tractor going to save her microscope. And she gets to the point of the woods where her microscope should be. She sees a Luna moth. She doesn't see just one Luna moth. She doesn't see several Luna moths. She sees hundreds of Luna moths. Now this is her life purpose at this point, and she's seeing hundreds of Luna moths all together at once, and she's like, ah! I mean, just imagine, like, that's your career, that's your purpose, you're trying to save these moths, you haven't seen one at all in your life, and you're looking at hundreds all of a sudden. Okay, she's like, jaw is on the floor. She's distracted by all these Luna moths when the fox that she saw early in their story, that everyone thought that there was something wrong with because it was a fox out in the daytime, appears in front of her again. And it seems more aggressive than it was the first time they met. This fox is trying to get Callie to go the hell away. She's like, the fox is like, get out. If the fox could talk, I would imagine it would say like, get out of here. You don't belong here. Go away. And she's like, actually, you're cute. I need to get my microscope. That's what I came here for. So she's walking. She sees her microscope. Not only does she see her microscope, she sees more mushrooms that she needs. And they happen to be in a circle. They're in a perfect circle. And she remembers what Crazy Earl told her earlier, that whenever these specific destroying angel mushrooms are in a perfect circle, that it is actually a portal. And Callie is like, she's in the woods alone, and she's like, it can't be a portal. It can't be a portal. There's no way. I'm just gonna step in it and see. You know, and I think I would do that too. I think if I was, you know, if someone told me that and I was alone and I found myself in that exact situation, I probably would be like, let's see what this is all about. And that's exactly what she did. And guess what, girl? Guess what? It was in fact a portal. And she did in fact fall into a Fey realm. Not only did she step into the portal and it was actually a portal, she happened to step into a portal, go through it, and fall on top of a prince. This is truly the point in the story where things start to pop off. I remember reading and I was like, you know, it is advertised as a fantasy folklore type book, and at this point it's just been like Callie in the real world. I don't really see how we're going to transition into folklore fantasy, but the portal is where it all shifts. This is where the book really picks up. This is where things start to go down. So Callie falls through this portal. She falls on top of a prince, and we quickly learn that of all people to fall on, this was probably the worst person, because as soon as Callie realizes that she fell on top of the prince, he says, kill it now. And Callie's like, whoa, wait a second, please don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know how I'm here. This is all a mistake. Please, oopsies, just send me back home. I will get out of your hair. I don't mean to disturb. Don't kill me. And he doesn't care, because something about Prince Mandex, the Unsullied Prince, is that he hates humans. Hates them. Thinks they're like the bane of existence. So he doesn't even care. He is like, you shush, you nasty little human whore. I'm going to kill you. And he doesn't really give her any time to say anything else before he stabs her right in the stomach. Just boom, done. And Callie's like, shit, well, there's that. People all around are also kind of confused, because they're like, well, how did you get here? How did you appear? And people are convinced that Callie is actually an assassin. And they keep calling her an assassin. And she's like, me? I am no assassin. So they leave her there to die, pretty much. She's stabbed, she's bleeding out, she thinks she's gonna die in this forest, she's confused, she's like, what's happening? This was a mistake, I should have listened to Crazy Earl, when the fox from earlier appears again. But this time it is talking. It's a talking fox. It's a magical talking fox, okay? And not only that, it tries to save her. So the fox, by licking and crying on her wound, saves Callie. Then the fox scurries off, and Prince Mandex appears again, and he's like, what the, how are you alive? How are you alive? See, what happened was, I was coming back to collect your head and send it back to the human realm so they know not to fuck with me. I thought you were dead. Why are you not dead? I don't even see your wound anymore. You're just a little human. I don't believe you. You're actually an assassin, you stupid little assassin. You thought you could come here and kill me? You can't kill me. I'm the Unsullied Prince Mandex himself. No one kills me. I am the murderer. I am the death giver. You, who do you think you are, you stupid little human? He didn't say all these things, but you know, that's the vibe that he's given off. Anyway, he's kind of like intrigued by her at this point, so he takes her prisoner. And he puts her in the dungeon at the Unsullied Castle. And Callie's like, gosh darn. Imagine being Callie. Poor little Callie. She didn't know what was going on. You just all of a sudden find yourself in this situation. Imagine. I would want to die. Just kill me. So they take her to the dungeon. She's in there. She makes a little rat friend because Callie has this weird drawing to animals. This rat has been coming to visit her in his little cell, and she's like, the rat is like, I'm gonna get you out of here. And Callie's like, yeah, please help me, whatever. But then Callie gets a new cellmate. Yeah, and the cellmate is the worst possible cellmate you probably could ever get, like really could ever hope for. It's a forest bog that feeds on fear, and Callie is scared shitless, to say the least. She's so not about it. She just wants to go home. Everyone keeps calling her an assassin. She's like, I don't know what's happening, just send me home. Now she has this nasty little forest bog as her cellmate that feeds on fear. And when I say feeds on fear, that's probably not the right description. He like quite literally gets off on it, if you know what I mean. Like he like gets real excited about it, and some terrible things happen to Callie. Prince Mandex then comes a few days later to see if Callie is dead yet. Matter of fact, she's not dead. And Prince Mandex is like, God damn! Why are you still alive, you stupid little assassin human? You know what? I tried to send the forest bog to kill you. I'm taking you to my personal assassin. So come with me. He takes her to the Chamber of Blood, okay? You can imagine all the things that happen in the Chamber of Blood. Prince Mandex steps out, his assassin steps in, and his assassin, the personal, betrusted assassin of the prince, happens to be actually a large cat. Like a leopard, okay? Like a large black leopard cat. And Callie girl has this thing with animals. Lord Alistair Kane is the assassin's name, has been the trusted assassin for Prince Mandex for a really long time, okay? Prince Mandex doesn't really trust a lot of people. That's not the kind of person he is, but he trusted Lord Alistair Kane. So you can imagine Prince Mandex's surprise when he comes back to find Callie finally murdered, and his assassin and Callie are sitting buddy talking, and she's still alive. Prince Mandex is like, the fuck? At this point, Prince Mandex is like, okay, you stupid little assassin human, you're going back to your cell. Until I can figure out what the hell to do with you, you're going back into your cell with the forest bog. And Callie's like, oh my god. At this point, she's super frustrated. She's angry. She doesn't know what's happening. She just wants to go home. She's being sent back into the cell with the stupid little forest bog. And the forest bog is like, you're back. I'm so happy to see you. And Callie is so angry that she brutally murders the forest bog. Yeah, she like fucked it up too. I think it was guards came back to look on Callie, and they're like, you killed the forest bog? No one kills the forest bog. She is a really high trained assassin. And Callie's like, people keep calling me an assassin. I'm not an assassin. I don't understand what's happening. But Callie at this point is in survival mode. So she figures out how to escape her cell. The little rat that was visiting in her cell earlier actually wasn't just a little rat. It was a shapeshifter who happened to be, his name is Walter. And he happens to be Prince Mandex's brother. So he discovers that Callie is, escaping from her cell, and he's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna help you, because he's part shapeshifter. He feels this need to protect her. Nevertheless, they get caught. Prince Mandex is like, what the fuck is this human? She's making everyone betray me. Why? I don't understand. So he throws his brother off the side of the castle. Callie's like, oh my god, that was your brother. And he's like, I don't care. Do I look like I care? No, I don't care. What is up with you, you stupid little human? I don't trust you around no one. So you are now my pet. I'm making you my pet. I despise you. I hate you. You're moving into my room. At this point, Prince Mandex doesn't even care that she's begging to go home. He is fully convinced that she is an assassin. I don't know why. So Prince Mandex takes Callie back to his room, and she's like, what's going on? What's happening? Just take me and kill me. If that's what you're gonna do, just kill me. And Prince Mandex is like, actually, tonight we're gonna have a party. I'm gonna show you off, and you're gonna learn that everyone here hates humans, including me. You're nasty, nasty, gross girl. But you're gonna go as my pet. You're going to go to this party. Everyone's going to degrade you. So, something that I haven't mentioned about Prince Mandex himself is he's actually a shadow daddy. I know, that's like important details that I can't believe I didn't tell you earlier. He is a shadow daddy. So when he's taking her to the party to, show off this nasty little human and probably kill her by the end of the night, He takes her there by a collar and leash of his shadow dark daddy magic, okay? So he's using his shadowness to have a leash on her, taking her to the party as his pet. They get there and people are like, ew, human, nasty, gross. And she's on the floor. She like falls to the floor and she's just chilling down there. She's like, I don't even see the point of even trying at this point, when someone comes up to her and, you know, he's a little sympathetic towards her. You know, there are good people in the world, and he's like, let me help you up, you beautiful little human. Prince Mandex didn't like that. He actually didn't like that at all, so he literally killed him. And Callie's like, why did you do that? Why did you just kill him? And then Prince Mandex decides in that very moment that if Callie can survive 3 terribly challenging trials, she can go home. Now, Prince Mandex has literally 0 faith in her. So there's no way she's going to be able to survive these 3 trials, but, you know, he's going to give her the chance, and this will be fun entertainment for his people. So that's the thing. And the first trial starts immediately, which is she's hunted down by these 2 ravenous creatures who a human has never been able to kill before, but Callie killed them. Later that night, she's back in Prince Mandex's room because now she's staying in there, and Prince Mandex is slowly starting to become intrigued with her. He's like the person of murder and death and destruction, but he can't kill this silly little. He's tried to kill her a few times, and every time it never works out. He's starting to get curious. She's causing chaos in his court, and is really starting to cause chaos in his mind because he can't understand what is happening. Prince Mandex is Prince Mandex, and he has his queen, his mommy queen, but there is currently no king because Prince Mandex actually killed his dad because he didn't really like the way he was ruling, but he can't take the throne because he's not married, because he doesn't have a bond with anyone, and every person that has been sent to Prince Mandex as a potential wife, the next queen, he's murdered. He's like, I don't like this woman, just kill her. So he is still prince. There is currently no king. He wants to ascend to the throne, but he doesn't like no one to be able to ascend to the throne. So the queen, so Prince Mandex's mom, has been trying to get him to just bond to someone. Before you kill the girl, just bond so you can ascend to the throne, and if you don't like her, then kill her, for fuck's sakes. So Prince Mandex's mom was actually suggesting that he bond to Callie because she's gonna die anyway. She has 2 more trials to go. She's gonna die anyway. Bond to her, ascend to the throne, kill the human. No harm, no foul. A little bit of politics here. There is the Unsullied Court and the Sullied Court. The Unsullied Court is known as like the scary, no morals, just murderers, nasty people, don't really care who they hurt or whatever. That's kind of the vibes we get from the Unsullied Court. The Sullied Court, they're supposed to be like gold and sunshine and happiness and peace and love and all those things. So that's like day and night. This Unsullied and Sully, that's how they are. And they don't like each other. Duh, I don't have to tell you that. They don't like each other. But the Sullied Court has gotten word that there's this human being held captive by Prince Mandex, and they're curious. And they want to meet her. During this meeting, this is what the Sully Prince says to Prince Mandex. As you brought a captive human to the court of fairy, it is our duty to make sure she gets back to the human realm safely. We have every right to take her, Mandex, and you know it. Mandex doesn't really like that. He doesn't like that, no, because Callie is his pet. He has this weird curiosity. He is like kind of, you know, low-key interested in her. He won't admit it to himself or to really anyone else, but no one is taking his fucking pet. That's his pet, that's his woman, that's his girl. What's the only logical thing for Prince Mandex to do in this situation? So let me paint the picture in your mind. The Sullied Prince is carrying Callie away. Prince Mandex is like watching this happen. What do you think what's the only logical thing for him to do at this point? If you guessed rip the Sully Prince's head off, you're correct. Because that's what he did. And immediately after that, he was like, I need people to know that this Callie girl, she's mine. So Mom, you were wanting me to bond to her earlier. Matter of fact, go ahead and do that. Bond us right now, immediately. This is my girl. The next trial is a matter of figuring out in which ways to drink poison and antidotes. There's a certain number of poison and antidotes, and she has to drink them in the correct order so she doesn't end up on a poison and end up killing herself. She figures it out, okay? She figures out the second trial. She's taken back to the room with the Mandex, and he's like fully at this point in love with the girl. Callie is still in the mindset of, I'm getting the hell out of here. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. But you are Shadow Daddy, and you low-key are kind of sexy, so I'm here for it while I'm here. But don't forget that I'm not staying here. I'm going home. And this is what Prince Mandex says to Callie. How does it feel, he said, breathing heavily, to know that I love you and that you have doomed me, that you and only you have the power to disarm and debilitate me, that you, a human, have dismantled every part of me and rebuilt it as a shrine in your honor. Okay. Okay. Prince Mandex, I'm sorry, Callie, if any man said that to me. Prince Mandex is like, okay, whatever. I'm going to pretend like I'm helping you. I mean, at this point, I don't want you to die anymore because I am like in love with you and I've never been in love with anyone before and we are bonded and I kind of am here for it. I don't want you to go and you're never really going to be out of my life, but I will pretend to help you win your third trial so you think you can go home. We learned that the third trial is actually, so she's going to be in this big arena. There's going to be 2 doors. Behind one door is going to be the portal to go home to the human realm. Behind the other door is going to be this big murderous creature. He kind of does some behind the scenes work trying to figure out the answer to the doors. He thinks his mom, he goes and talks to his mom. His mom tells him. He tells Callie. But once the third trial begins, he realizes that his mommy lied to him. Because his mommy was like, Prince Mandex, you're getting everything twisted here. You're falling for a human. What are you doing? This was only all supposed to be temporary. She's going to die today. So Prince Mandex jumps down into the arena and is like, Callie, let me help you. That's not really what he did, but that's essentially, you know, what happened. So she opens the door with the murderous creature. Prince Mandex is down there and, you know, helping kill the creature to win. So, you know, Callie doesn't die. And Prince Mandex says, so the creature is now dead. Prince Mandex says, she switched the doors last minute, Callie. I almost lost you. Everyone will pay for it. That I promise. I will never be without you, Callie. Never. Okay. What happens next? This next line I'm going to read to you is the part that made me nearly shit myself. This is Callie saying this. I close my eyes and force myself to do what I've been sent here to do the whole time. What? What? Oh, hold on. Okay. You're scared. We're scared. You continue reading. Prince Mandex says, like everything else to do with Callie, I never saw it coming. The iron blade dug deep into the flesh just below my wing, the exact spot I had shown my love where to end me forever. I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was. I have never in my entire life been more gaslit as a reader. This whole time, Callie and Mandex are going back and forth. He's like, you silly little assassin. She's like, I'm not an assassin. And I believed her. I believed Callie. She's just a silly little girl from Michigan trying to save the Luna Moss. She's not an assassin. She was a fucking assassin. This whole time, I was shocked. I still am shocked. It still really does something to me because I truly, like Prince Mandex, never saw it coming. Got a little off the rails there for a second. Let's continue because the book's not over. Shh. she kills Prince Mandex. She jumps into the portal to go back to the human realm. Well, she didn't really kill Prince Mandex. She thought she was going to kill him. Again, he said where he showed her his death blow would be. Not actually. It would normally be a death blow to anyone else who wasn't a shadow slayer. That's what he said. Not me, because I'm a shadow daddy. You can't kill me that way. So Callie thinks she's killed the prince. He's not actually dead. She goes back to the human realm. She wakes up in the hospital. People are like, girl, we found you in the forest next to all these mushrooms. You like have been out for a few days. And she's starting to think maybe she hallucinated everything. Everyone leaves out of the room. Crazy Earl stays in the room. Now, this is where we learn that Crazy Earl is not Crazy Earl. His name is actually Aurelius. I'm probably saying that wrong. You know, that's like on brand for me. He is Aurelius. His name, he's actually Prince Aurelius, and he is the brother of the now dead Prince of the Sully, because Mandex ripped off the prince's head. He's a brother of them. So we've actually got introduced to him earlier in the story during the meeting between the Sully and the Unsully. He was there the whole time, and now he's there. He's been there in the human realm disguised as Crazy Earl, helping Callie find a portal to eventually kill Man. We should talk about it because there are some parts, even having reread it yesterday, I still am like, I need to talk about it, and I feel like if we talk about it together, we'll be able to clear some things up. So Callie has been an assassin this whole time. She's been an assassin for the Sully court, or the Sully queen, for a really long time. She's been doing the bidding in the human world for the Sully queen. And the last thing that Callie needed to do to prove herself to the Sully queen was kill Prince Mandex. So that was her goal all along. I'm confused because is it like where Callie like kind of, did she know that that's what she was doing? Like, did she know she was going to jump into the portal and kill Prince Mandex? I mean, she had to have known, right? Like that was her goal. I don't know, girl. Like, the ending is definitely something that leaves you thinking. It definitely leaves you wanting more answers. Like, obviously Callie had to know that she was an assassin the whole time. Like, I didn't know as a reader. That blew my socks off. So at the end of the book, it kind of sets up where Callie is going to return to the Sully court to be a part of the Sully court, because that's where she wants to be. Her and they call him Eli. Her and Prince Eli have been friends since they were kids, and the queen didn't quite trust Callie because she was a human. So in order to prove her allegiance to the Sully court, she was an assassin for the queen, mostly killing people in the human realm at first, but then her final test was to kill Prince Mandex, and then after she did that, she could return to the Sully court and be an official member and live there in the Sully court as a rightful person who belonged there. So the book ends off where Callie and Prince Eli think that Mandex is dead and they're returning back to the Sully court. But we know that Prince Mandex actually isn't dead. They're still bonded together. Prince Mandex is fully in love with Callie. He's never been in love with anyone before, and I'm fully prepared for him in the next book to burn the fucking world down. Now, there are some points where I'm not quite sure. I need answers in the next book. I need to know Callie's true background. That's kind of where I need more answers, and I'm sure we'll get it in the next book, and I'm very excited about. How does it feel? How did you guys feel reading this book? I really enjoyed it. Matter of fact, I gave it 5 stars, and I'm super excited for the next book. The new title for the second book is actually What Did You Do? And will be released February 28, 2024. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I'm so happy that there's so many people who love this book. So when the second book comes out, we'll all be reading it together. I hope I didn't miss out any major details talking about it. I'm like thinking like it's hard to condense down a book to a YouTube video. But that's essentially the plot. And again, the book will always be better if you want to know like the full details of everything. I recommend reading this book. I give it 5 stars. I loved this book so much and I'm so excited for the next. Let's talk about it in the comments. Anyway, thank you for being here. I love you and I hope you have a good rest of your day.